Hello students, today we will discuss about the lesson, the fundamental unit of life. First is the fundamental unit of life is the cell. It is the basic unit of life. Fundamental unit of life is cell. What is the cell structure? First cell was discovered by the Robert Hooke. It was discovered by the Robert Hooke in 1665. All cells vary in their shape, size and activity. Cell have three major functional regions. This is the first is plasma membrane, second is nucleus and third is cytoplasm. Each and every cell made up of these three parts: plasma membrane, nucleus and cytoplasm. Plasma membrane. Plasma membrane is also called cell membrane. It is also called cell membrane. It is the outermost covering of the cell that separates the contents of the cell from its external environment. It is living, thin, delicate, elastic, semi-permeable membrane or selectively permeable membrane, and it is made up of the proteins and lipids. It is present in the both plants and animal cells. Now, what are the functions of the plasma membrane? It gives definite shape to the cell. It gives definite shape to the cell. It separates the content of the cell from its surrounding. It is selectively permeable. It regulates the movement of the ions in and out of the cell. It provides mechanical barrier. It provides mechanical barrier for the protections of the internal content of the cell. Now next is nucleus. Nucleus. Nucleus was discovered by the Robert Brown in 1831. It is the largest cell structure and it is spherical or oval in shape. Now, what are the parts of the nucleus? Nuclear membrane. It is a double-layered membrane which separates nucleus from the cytoplasm. It has pores called the nuclear pores which allow the material to transfer from nucleus to the cytoplasm. Each cell consists of the three parts. First is plasma membrane or cell membrane. Plasma membrane or cell membrane, and in the center there is a nucleus and filled with the dense fluid that is called cytoplasm. Each and every cell consists of these three parts. Now this nucleus covered with a membrane that is called nuclear membrane. Nuclear membrane. It has fluid in it that is called nucleoplasm. Nucleoplasm is homogeneous and granular dense fluid present inside the nucleus in which chromatin and nucleolus are suspended. Chromatin material are the thread-like structure. This is called chromatin material. These are the thread-like structure and it has a nucleolus. Nucleolus. Chromatin material. It consists of long coiled network of the thread-like structure. Chromatin material is made up of DNA, which is responsible for transferring the hereditary information from one generation to another or from parents to offspring. It condenses into compact and rod-like structure that is called chromosomes at the time of the cell division. When the cell start division, then this thread-like structure condenses into the rod-like structure. These are called chromosomes. Nucleolus. Nucleolus. This is the rounded body. It is more or less round structure found inside the nucleus. Nucleolus contain RNA and protein. RNA help in the protein synthesis. Now, what are the functions of the nucleus? Nucleus control all metabolic activity of the cell. Nucleus control all metabolic activity of the cell. It regulates the cell cycle. It helps in transferring of the hereditary information from parents to the offspring or from one generation to the another generation. Next is cytoplasm. This dense liquid is called cytoplasm. It is the fluid content of the cell which occur between the plasma membrane and the nuclear envelope. This is nuclear envelope and this is plasma membrane. It is a dense liquid present between the plasma membrane and nuclear envelope. It contains various organelles. Each organelles perform the different functions. Plant cell. Structure of a plant cell. Plant cell bounded by a hard outer membrane that is called cell wall. Hard outer membrane that is called cell wall. Cell wall. Inner membrane is called plasma membrane. Plasma membrane. In the plant cell, there is a large vacuole in it. Vacuole in it. There are the liquid outside this. This is called cytoplasm. Here another body that is called nucleus. Nucleus. And outer to this is membrane is called nuclear membrane. And it is filled with the liquid is called nucleoplasm. Nucleoplasm. Here are certain other organelles like mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, dictyosome. This is ER or endoplasmic reticulum. These are the ribosomes. Ribosomes. As you know, plant cells do the process of photosynthesis. Here is another organelle that is called chloroplast or plastid. Chloroplast or plastid. Here are present certain other organelles, lysosomes. Lysosomes. This is deformed dictyosome or part of the Golgi apparatus. And this is mitochondria, powerhouse of the cell. Animal cell covered with a membrane that is called plasma membrane. Plasma membrane or cell membrane. It is highly elastic and this is plasma membrane or cell membrane. It is also called selectively permeable membrane because it selects the material for entry and exit within the cell. This is called plasma membrane or cell membrane. In the center, there is a rounded body that is called nucleus. It also covered with a membrane that is called nuclear membrane. Nuclear membrane. And it consists of a liquid that is called nucleoplasm. Nucleoplasm. Here is a rounded body that is called nucleus or nucleolus. Between nucleus and plasma membrane there is a liquid that is called cytoplasm. That is called cytoplasm. In the cytoplasm there are large number of the organelles. First is Golgi body or Golgi apparatus. Golgi body or Golgi apparatus. Other organelle is endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum. It has some certain rounded structures that are called ribosomes. Ribosomes, and this is endoplasmic reticulum or ER. ER. Here is another organelle that is called the powerhouse of the cell, that is mitochondria. Mitochondria. This is called centriole or centrosome. Centrosome or centrioles. Here are certain structures that are called lysosome or suicidal bag of the cell. Lysosome or suicidal bag of the cell. This liquid is called cytoplasm. But nucleoplasm plus cytoplasm both are formed the protoplasm of the cell. It is the living material of the cell. This is the animal cell or human cell. Difference between plant cell and animal cell. Animal cell. As we have discussed earlier, it has plasma membrane, and in plant cell it also has animal cell and plant cell. Both have plasma membrane. Plasma membrane. In plant cell, there is another wall present outside the plasma membrane. This is called cell wall. This is the first difference. In plant cell, cell wall is present, but in animal cell, no cell wall is present, but plasma membrane is present in both the cell. Now, in the animal cell, nucleus is present at the center. Nucleus. But here, nucleus is present at the periphery. At the periphery. Second difference is, in the animal cell, nucleus is present at the center, but in plant cell, nucleus is present towards the side. In the plant cell, there is large vacuole. Third difference is, in the plant cell, there is large vacuole, but in animal cell, vacuole are small or either absent. Now, next is, here are the chloroplast present. Chloroplast or plastid. chloroplast type of the plastid. This is the fourth difference, because plant cells do the process of photosynthesis. That's why they need the organelle is chloroplast for the process of photosynthesis. But in animal cell, chloroplast is absent. Liquid material cytoplasm is present in both the cells. Mitochondria present in both the cells. Endoplasmic reticulum present in both the cells. Ribosomes are also present in both the cells, ER or endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum. And these are ribosomes. These are ribosomes. Animal cell, there is a rounded body that is called centriole or centrosome. Centrosome. This helps in the division of the cell and present in the animal cell but not in the plant cell. Here again I am recalling the difference. First major difference between the plant and animal cell is, in plant cell, cell wall is present, but in animal cell, no cell wall is present. Second, in the animal cell, nucleus is present at the center, but in plant cell, nucleus is present towards the periphery. Third, vacuole, a large vacuole is present in the plant cell, but in animal cell, no vacuole or either very small vacuoles are present. Next difference is, in plant cell, chloroplast is present for the process of photosynthesis, but in animal cell, no chloroplast is present. Fifth difference, centrioles is present in the plant cell. Centrioles is present in the animal cell, not in the plant cell. Sixth difference is size. Large in size. Plant cell is large size and animal cell is small size. Different type of the organelle is, first is endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum or ER. ER is endoplasmic reticulum. ER is a large network of membrane-bounded tubes and sheets extending from outer nuclear membrane to the plasma membrane. There are two types of endoplasmic reticulum, rough endoplasmic reticulum RER or smooth endoplasmic reticulum SER. Rough means there are present some ribosomes on it. Ribosomes present on it. And these ribosomes help in the protein synthesis. Smooth means it is smooth and no ribosomes is present on it, and it helps in the manufacture of fat molecule and lipid molecule and help in the detoxification. Endoplasmic reticulum is transferred for the transport of material to various regions within the cell, and it also helps in the membrane biogenesis. It helps in the formation of the membrane, plasma membrane. Next organelle is Golgi apparatus or Golgi body. It consists of the set of membrane-bounded, smooth, flattened cristae, stacked one above the other, just like this. This is Golgi apparatus, and these are called cisternae. Cisternae stacked one above the other, and large vacuole. Here are some large vacuoles and some fluid-filled vesicles. Small vesicles are present, and these are the vacuoles. It is mainly secretory in nature. It secretes the certain juices. It arises from the membrane of the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Now the function of the Golgi apparatus is storage, modification and packaging of the product. These are the main functions: storage, modification and packaging of the product in vesicles. It also forms some lysosomes. It helps in the formation of cell plate during cell division. When the cell divides, then cell plate forms and it helps in the formation of cell plate. It helps in the formation of complex sugar from the simple sugar. Now next organelle is lysosome. Lysosome. These are the membrane bounded vesicle structure found in the cytoplasm of all eukaryotes. It is surrounded by a single membrane, not covered by double membrane. It is covered by single membrane. Finally is lysosome. Lysosome contains powerful digestive enzyme. It consists of powerful digestive enzyme and it involved in the autolysis or self-digestion of the cell after their death. If some cell dies in the body, then it can digest its own cell. Hence, they are called the suicidal bag. These are called suicidal bag because they self-digest their own cell. Now, the functions of the lysosome. It is the waste disposal system. It is the waste disposal system and keep the cell clean. Keep the cell clean by self-digestion and act as a suicidal bag. Mitochondria. This is the rod-shaped organelle present in the eukaryotic cell. It is a rod-shaped organelle and present in all the eukaryotic cell. In the prokaryotic cell, it is absent. And except RBC, it is present in the eukaryotic cell. It consists of the two membranes, outer membrane, and inner membrane is finger-like projections. Inner membrane has finger-like projections. This is inner membrane. This inner membrane has finger-like projections and these finger-like projections are called cristae. These are the cristae and it is filled with the matrix. This is the matrix. It has its own DNA. It has some ribosomes also. And its own DNA. It has outer membrane, inner membrane. Inner membrane have finger-like projections. These are called cristae. It has its own DNA and ribosomes. Both the DNA and ribosomes help in the protein synthesis and that's why it is called semi-autonomous organelle. It has its own DNA and ribosomes for the synthesis of the protein and it is called the powerhouse of the cell. Because it produced the ATP. ATP is adenosine triphosphate. It is the energy currency. Of the cell. It provides the energy to the cell. Mitochondria is the site of cellular respiration. It is the site of cellular respiration and during cellular respiration it produces the energy ATP and it can produce its own protein because it has its own DNA and ribosomes. That's why it is called semi-autonomous organelle. it can replicate itself. This is called the powerhouse of the cell because it gives power to the cell or energy currency ATP to the cell for the various activities in the cell or body. This is mitochondria. Structure of chloroplast. It is the type of the plastids. These are present in the plant cell and green in color and help in the process of photosynthesis. Chloroplast. Chloroplast is double membrane organelle. It is a double membrane organelle. This is the outer membrane. Outer membrane. This is inner membrane. Outer membrane and inner membrane. Here are the coin-like structure. These are called granum. Granum. Different coin-like structure are called granum, and these are attached with the lamellae. Lamellae. It is filled with the matrix and it has its own ribosomes and DNA. Because of presence of both these, it also acts as semi-autonomous organelle. Semi-autonomous organelle. Because it prepares its own protein. That's why it is called semi-autonomous organelle. Here are the certain grains. These are called starch grain. These are called starch grain, and it is filled with the matrix that is called stroma. That is called stroma. Plastids. Plastids are of three types. First is leucoplast. Leucoplast. These are colorless. Chromoplast. Chromoplast. Chromo means color. They have color present in decorative plants. Third is chloroplast. It is green in color. Green in color. And it is double membrane organelle, outer membrane and the inner membrane. And coin-like structures are called granum and they are joined with the lamellae and filled with the matrix that is called stroma. And it has its own ribosomes and DNA. It can prepare its own protein, help in its own protein synthesis. That's why it is called semi-autonomous organelle. And it helps in the process of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis. Thank you.